Welcome, everybody, to the Hustle and Heart presents Get It Out. I'm your host, William Hustle, and my co host, Big Pat. What's going on, bro?
Not much, man. Glad to be here.
Uh,
I mean, I really I see something working in my life. Um, it's like when I go to the gym, I see results, but I see something working in my life, and it's worked and it's bled through to my kids, to those around me, to those who know me, and my situations have changed. But I'm following the same vibrational pattern, and that's positivity. That's love. I made a career switch, and now this is happening, and that's all energy, man. We were talking about. I mean, you were talking about energy before. Nothing but good can keep coming out of this stuff when you plant yourself and you react the best. What's best for your health? What's best for your peace of mind? You always have to make that decision, and the fact of it is the only power that we have is how we react to the world around us. I mean, every day there's going to be negativity, there's going to be hate, there's going to be depression, there's going to be just regret and worry and anxiety. But every day there's also love, there's also understanding, there's also empathy, and there's also kindness. And that's the stuff that you have to look for because it's out there every day.
and it comes in making the choice like, no, boom, that happened. I deal with it. But in making the choice to not allow it to affect what you're trying to accomplish
Right.
each day.
Right.
Like, man, I beat myself down if it, like today, like if something alters my energy for more than it should, it's like I beat myself up because I done lost moments of giving my goodness and my joy to the environment and to my life. And like that's a no for me.
Part of our all of our path, I think, is we're going to make mistakes. We're gonna slip up. We're gonna get angry. You know, we're gonna poison our own soul with anger. Um, but we have to have the ability to forgive
Yes, sir.
ourselves quickly
Yes, sir.
and get right back on track.
Most definitely.
And again, everything that we go through, every single one of us, all of our suffering, all of our pain, there's a lesson there. The lesson is we don't want to feel like that. That's the worst
It's the
worst
worst
feeling
feeling.
in the world. That's the worst feeling in
It's
the
worst
world.
feeling.
So knowing that, and each of us knowing that wholeheartedly, uh, if this, we're not given another day. We may not wake up in the morning. So people have plans for the morning and they're not going to make
They're
it.
not gonna make it.
But we get that gift tomorrow, and it may be our last day. Why not make it the best, most positive, most loving day possible?
Listen, it was last last year, February, more February, something like that. And I got real sick. It was right after I left you at the no, you left the dealership up there
Yeah,
before me.
yeah.
So it was right after I left the dealership and I was at this place like 2 or 3 weeks or something and I got real sick. And when when I found out what it was and like finally came conscious and understood like how am I diabetic? Like how am I diabetic? And I don't know, it changed some things in me, but my wife just said it the other day. She like, and I don't know, I can't remember what we was talking about. And that's something that happened when I got sick too. Like sometimes I really had to think a little longer to remember certain things. But we like we man, we joke so much, but we was talking about something and she was like, oh yeah. Cause you was depressed when you found out you was sick. Like, no, no,
Yeah.
but I was.
I mean, that's a life changing event, though. I mean, to not have emotions toward it would be crazy. I mean, that's huge. My grandfather was diabetic, and I mean, I know that he had to take his shots every day. But um, yeah, unchecked, I mean, that can be life threatening. So that's definitely something that you have to reset your mind to.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't. And I was like, I was mad, like, man, how am I like,
Yeah,
what was hurting me is like, man, how am I diabetic? Like, I should, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't mentally. adjust like, man, ain't no way I should be no diabetic.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what threw me, you know. But man, it's look, man. Our reason of being put together is because like I allow like people that I associate with to see like if I'm explaining like, man, you know, when this happened, you know, this how I felt. Or like, but I couldn't express it during that moment, like because like for what? But people that you know, like like this how I felt about this, and it mainly be my wife. But it's like this how I felt about this, like because they know me, but I don't react the same way that I used to react. And my life is like, man, my life is beautiful. Like it's things bother me, but like they don't bother me, man.
Yeah.
Like God woke me up. I got the opportunity to achieve anything that I'm trying to achieve in life by the position that He has put me in my life. Like, what's more beautiful than that, man?
Nothing at all. I'll tell you, the the cool thing I think is that both of us coming from different paths, having both of us experiencing our own trauma, our own pain, our own suffering, um, but then the likelihood of coming together and spreading that message.
Period.
That's one of the most beautiful things there is, man. I mean, you don't know when people's paths are going to cross, and then what they'll do with that. But then to actually get this energy together and try to keep it out there so that we might be able to help somebody else that's still suffering. I think that it reminds me of something uh, I read, and I want to get this right, but people have people have hurt us, and to be that change, we have to be the person we needed when we were hurting, not the person that hurt us. We have a way of repeating that hurt and that pain cycle onto others that we love. Uh, we have to flip the script. We have to be the difference so that that cycle ends. So
But that was once upon a time. That was me because I was not I was not going. So everything was anger.
right. Oh yeah.
And today I understand like it wasn't anger because I had to defend myself or let it be known that like you know who you dealing with. No, it was because I allowed everything else to exist in me besides the love
Yeah.
that also existed in me.
Absolutely.
And now it's like
Like I said, we spread that pain. We spread. I mean, it was. I was so quick to want to fight somebody for most of my life. I mean, if and it didn't take much. Um, and I remember, but just like I spread love and positivity now, I would spread that pain and suffering. I was just it was however you act towards people is just a reflection of your inside of how.
period.
That's it. If you're filled with uh, love, if you're filled with optimism, if you're filled with just empathy and kindness for others, you're not trying to put anything but that out there, man. So, and if you're putting out the opposite, then you're just lying to yourself.
And I feel like I have to say this. And it's because it's like we're not saying that anyone is a bad person from going through suffering or the reactions and ways they see life. We're saying that whomever and however you've lived, if you just try to say, man, I'm going to smile all day, I'm going to say nice things and positive things
Try for a day.
to everyone. Like, seriously,
Yeah.
like, I am just going to, I'm going to make a choice to just like be happy today, not let none bother me. And just spread, because when you happy, you want to spread. You want everybody to know you
Absolutely.
happy. Like you don't hide that because when you in that aggressive mode, like you don't hide that.
Not at all.
So like if you just try for one day, I nothing is gonna stop me from smiling today.
Yeah. Speaking of a smile, it's amazing when you walk down the street and you see somebody with a blank face and you smile at them. I mean, 90% of the time you get a smile back.
Yeah.
And you could tell that just brightens some a smile can do so much. Just to I mean it brightens the world. I mean, I'm not trying to be corny here, but
I mean,
everything like we've been talking about is energy. And you know, it's so powerful when you just come at things with a positive attitude.
let me tell you something. Coming from where I come from, the things and the ones that we call corny are the ones who have been living the life that I live and chase to live now, which is I'm happy, I'm joyful, I'm doing things in the right way with a good heart, with a good mind, and I don't have any worries but not waking up and hoping something don't happen to someone in my family, which is life.
Right.
So corny is,
A lot of it is, but I'll tell you, corny
it's
man.
okay to be corny.
Corny's happy, man.
It's
Corny,
it's happy.
corny's joyful, man. And you're, I
Period.
mean, it's loving. It's and it don't. And the big thing is it really don't matter what anybody else thinks.
It don't.
Only thing that matters is how we feel. I mean, and then the sooner you understand that, the easier your life will be. Because the only person's opinion that matters is the one that you look back at in the mirror every morning before you leave to go out for that day. And you can either choose to feed and continue cycles of pain and suffering, or you can decide to change. And I'll say this over and over again, but all change is just one thought that becomes a belief that becomes a way of life. You're just flipping a switch, and you let that thought in, just like you let all the bad thoughts in, just like you fed all those bad thoughts and let them control you for years. Now you get this one thought, and it catches fire.
Only a fool don't change.
I can honestly say that I have empathy and understanding for a lot that don't, because you experience enough and extreme pain, and you get calloused over, because there comes a natural defense where you're not going to let that pain hit you anymore. The problem being is that you don't let any emotions in anymore, and you become just numb to everything. And there's a lot of people out there like that, and they didn't ask for it. They didn't say or sign up for it. It was just the cards they were dealt. So I do have empathy in that, to quit your suffering and to quit your pain and to quit your trauma is almost like quitting a drug. It's like quitting cigarettes or something, because you're used to that. We get used to feeling bad, and to feel anything else. Well, what the hell's that? What is that? I'm not. I'm used to this. I'm used to being in this lane all the time. You're saying that now I got to go over a couple lanes and slow it down a little bit and start working on myself and that's what's going to get me happy. It's hard to. Some people just have a difficulty subscribing to that.
And I understand and I agree. But my thoughts and this this is another thing that my wife's always like, you think you just. I'm like, no, I'm not saying that. I know I'm saying like when you going through things, I'm not saying that you don't. It's as easy as saying, hey, I'm gonna stop drugs or I'm gonna stop doing this. If you stop, I know you have to, you need help. You have to go through your programs or whatever it might be. But it is that easy of I don't want to do this no more, and then do the things you need to do to stop doing the things that are taking control of you. Of you. I mean, have you ever known me to make an excuse? I don't believe in excuses
No,
for decisions that you make to do something. Not saying that you chose to be capped. Like
you are choosing it. I just think Um, like I said, I'm very empathetic to the fact that uh, our path of pain and suffering isn't always a path that was we chose. It was given to us. Now we choose to live with that pain and suffering for every day after the event or whatever happens, and that's on us. But again, we don't choose a lot of that pain and suffering. It's dealt to us. How we deal with it is totally on us. But especially when it happens at a young age, there's nothing that can prepare you for some of that.
Hmm.
You're not prepared. You know, a child isn't prepared to be punched by a grown man or abused or you know, just there's things that it's like, yeah, you're going to learn to walk and talk and stuff, but um, you know, there's certain things that just I think that we're not really prepared for, and it takes us down a different path. Um, Everything that we encounter, though, I think does, if we can make it through it, we're stronger for it, and we're beacons of light for others, and that's the main thing. Those of us that make it through it, we're here to shine a light back.
Yes, sir.
I made it through it. And if
Ama-
I can make it through it, you can make it through it.
Period.
That's the only message that there is. If I
Period.
can make it through it, you can make it through it. I'm not saying you deserve your pain. I'm not saying you deserve your suffering. You absolutely don't. You deserve love. You deserve your love. You deserve success. You deserve everything this life has to offer. I was almost dead on methamphetamine and alcohol July 7th of 2017. I was gonna. I went down to the liquor store. I got a liter of vodka. Um, Still had a quarter gram of meth in there. I was just gonna go home and hang myself. I said I was done. I called my work, and I'd been up for 7 days, and I'm driving in the car, man, and hell is on earth. I saw. I mean, there was a demon in the back seat. There were shadow people sitting next to me. There was no one in my car, but it was filled up with all the evil and all the bad and all the bad stuff that I'd been enveloped in. It was now manifesting, and it was real right in my car as I'm trying to drive to Verizon to work. I have to call them and tell them I can't do this anymore. That call I made to Verizon saved my life because when I get home after I go to the liquor store and I pull in, the cops are there, and they know me, and they say, all he said was, "Are you ready, Pat?" And I start crying. I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready." That's all I needed. I just needed a push. So uh, I had to go. I got right to the point. I mean, I was right to the point where I could no longer lie to myself. I could no longer pretend that my life was manageable. It was either time to get busy dying or get busy living. And my initial thought was the easy thing to do was just die. Um, this it takes courage and strength and forgiveness and again love to make it through um, some of this stuff that again we didn't bring on ourselves. The And again going back full circle, being that close to not being here, I know that if I can be here talking to you right now, that you can be here with me too. You can be at my table right now, and that's always going to be my message. And I'll continue to say this message until I can't say this message anymore. But what will always be here is my love for those who suffer, my love for those who don't think they have another day to go and they can't make it another day. You can,
You
and you
can.
will. And if I can do anything about it, I'll always again be here to shine a light and let you know that there is a way out.
That's why we call this "Get It Out."
You got to get it out.
You got to get it out. You got to want that change.
Absolutely.
You got to want to be better. I don't care how great you're doing in life. When they say don't want too much, yes, you're supposed to want as much as you desire. Because the more that you desire, the more you give of yourself, the more you are able to help others less stress. So others can see and feel the love and the joy
Hmm.
that you live with. Ain't no dollar value on that,
Not at all.
but it's a way of thinking and living.
I would also challenge everyone to be unique and to actually look inside yourself and see what your path is. Just because your family, there's a difference between being spiritual and being religious. I always liked the quote that said, Religion is for those who are afraid to go to hell. Spirituality is for those that have already been there, meaning that um, we know that we're in charge of our own salvation, our own demise, because our choices ultimately take us on that path.
Period.
That is an Eastern philosophy, an Eastern way of thinking, and I really adhere to that. But again, be unique in that. Find your own path. Listen, just because your family is Christian, that doesn't mean your family's wrong, but it doesn't mean that that's your path. You could be Muslim, you could be Jewish, you could be Buddhist, you could be whatever you want to be, but just be what you're supposed to be, and that whole path starts with love. You have to love you, and then you'll find your way.
And when you giving yours, so like let me give mine before we get up off the air. Just because you was born and from the hood, and you move in the way that all of us moved from the hood, doesn't mean that you have to continue to be that way. Doesn't mean you have to continue to stay in the hood. Your life with this love, with this vision, with understanding that you were put here to chase any dream that comes to your mind and heart, you can have it. You deserve it. It's yours. It's about changing, letting things out, and letting the one thing in that it all starts with, and that's love. So why don't you, before we end this, just one more time, I just want you to just take one day, just one day, wake up like Big Pat and find something positive to read and find something positive to listen to, and just promise yourself for one day you are going to smile all day. Doesn't matter the things that's going to happen at the inside. You're going to smile all day and give positive energy and words to anyone that you choose to speak to that one day. Just be full of love that one day and see if it creates a different feeling within you. I'm William Hustle Lyles,
It's Big Pat.
and we want to thank you all for listening to Hustle and Heart Presents. Get it out. For more, man, we're going to be coming here going live soon. But go check us out on WilliamLyles.Today on YouTube, and subscribe and follow us, man. And, start leaving us messages, and, leave us some topics, and let us share some of our experiences and the things that we learn and going through in life, and see if it can help just how many people, Big Pat?
I mean, the whole thing is if we can just help one, this whole thing's worth it. And you're out there right now, and you're going to hear this message, and then you're going to spread the same thing. And that's what all this is about. You got to get it out. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of happiness. You're worthy of success, and it all starts with you.
Period, point blank. I'm William Hustle Lyles.